Hey there folks, my name is Luke. This is, of course, the beautiful Susie, the one and only. Today for this episode we are discussing
ticks. It is tick season. Actually, it's tick season all year long. There's not a season where you will not find a tick, even in the middle of winter when it's cold.
That's right. This winter, how many ticks did we pick off ourselves and our dog?
Over a dozen, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
Literally.
A dozen.
Literally. Just out today, it is a spring day, kind of nippy. I've already gotten a tick off of my pants. Telling you guys, they're out there. No matter what the weather, hot, cold, they're out there.
Yep, no matter the location either. You all may not know this, but there are at least 850 different types of ticks out there.
And you can get over 20 different types of illnesses and viruses from a tick bite.
Now when it comes to these diseases, Lyme disease is the most prevalent, that's the most well known.
So with Lyme disease, a tick has to be on your skin and biting you for 24 to 36 hours, actually sucking your blood for that virus to be transmitted. So if you're out and you see a tick on you and you're able to get it off, don't freak out. And Luke and I wanted to make this video, give you guys some tips and to help you with ticks. But we don't want to scare you and frighten you and make you think that you can never go into the woods. We actually get emails and a lot of concerns about, I want to go camping, but I'm scared about ticks. So remember, there's always risk with the outdoors, but it doesn't outweigh the benefits of going outside.
With Susan talking about Lyme disease, let's go a little bit more in depth about that. Now, that is the most well-known illness that you can get from ticks, but not every tick can give you Lyme disease.
Lyme disease comes from the deer tick, and that is the red tick with like black legs. We see a lot of that in our area. But like Luke mentioned, there's so many different kinds of ticks. So again, just because you have a tick on you doesn't mean you're going to get Lyme disease.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, ticks carry so many different diseases. I've heard of people getting bit by a tick and then they're allergic to meat. And so it is so important to be diligent to prevent the tick from biting you.
It's so important to check yourself and check those who are with you. You know, it really helps when you have the buddy system. You know, as Susan and I have been walking around today, we've been filming some. Every 10 minutes or so, if we've been going through like a brushy area, we stop and we check each other. It really does help to wear lighter color clothing. Susie's doing a great job of that. She has the tan pants, she has the, it's kind of a dark shirt, but it's not that bad. It's not black like I am. I have the dark pants, dark shirt, not very smart, but I like it. You could definitely wear clothing like I am, but you really have to be diligent. That really is the key there.
You know, we could go on and on about the different types of ticks and all the diseases, but let's talk about how you can protect yourself.
Before we talk about repellent, let's discuss where you need to check specifically on your body when it comes to ticks and their favorite locations. Now, of course, a tick can latch on anywhere, but these are the main areas that you need to check.
You need to check under your arms, the back of your neck.
You need to check your hairline, check your waist, your groin area.
I always check at my feet, my shoes, my legs, because most of the time as you're walking, that's where they're going to get on your body at. When you are checking yourself, this needs to be done often, not just once on your trip. Luke mentioned we were out today. We've constantly been checking each other as we walk through. So once you're walking through some brush, you would stop, check yourself.
Oftentimes when you're hiking along, this is from my own experience, I can sense like if there's something crawling on me. If you get that sense, make sure to take the time to stop and really check. Don't just take your hand and rub it over it like that, because ticks, they can really latch on. They have very grippy little legs, so swiping it away is not going to get rid of it. You need to take the time and take a look. So let's talk about repellent. There are a ton of options out there. Not all of them are created equal, unfortunately, but some protection is better than no protection.
There are natural remedies like lemongrass, eucalyptus, and so on that people use. You know, we can't tell you what's going to work better for you.
When it comes to chemical repellents, you have DEET.
You have permethrin.
And others. What I recommend is the one that Susan mentioned.
The permethrin is a good option to use.
Yep. You do not spray that on your body, but you put it on your clothing. You can put it on your backpack. You can even spray it like on your tent. Of course, before doing so, make sure to do a spot test because all materials are different. Fun fact, you can actually find tents that have been infused with that as well.
So with the repellent, like Luke said, some of it is for your clothes and your gear, and some of it's for your body. So make sure you understand how to apply the one that you choose to use.
All right, so now we're getting to the gist of this here, and that is removal. This is a very important topic because there is a wrong way to remove a tick. Of course, when a tick is sucking your blood, its body is expanding. You want to make sure that you do not squeeze that body and push all the blood and bacteria into your own bloodstream. That is so important.
Yeah.
So you really do have to be careful.
Ew, that's gross.
It is really gross.
It is very gross, but what you need to use are some tweezers, and what you're looking for is the head of that tick.
When it comes to the tweezers, these are not makeup tweezers, right? This
Right.
I don't know what women call them. They pluck their eyebrows or whatever. Those are not the right tweezers. You
No.
use those and you will squish that body.
You are looking for the really sharp, flat pair of tweezers. You would grasp the tick's head and pull straight up. You do not wiggle, turn,
You don't twist, nothing like that.
just a firm grip, and you pull straight up to get the tick out. You might see your skin kind of rise up as you're trying to pull it out, but if you have a firm grasp and pull straight up, it should release.
You know, if you have a tick that you cannot get off, go to the doctor. That's the best course of action. Go to like an urgent care, something like that.
So if you've been bit and you tried to get the tick off and the head is still in your body, what you would do is you would clean the area, wash it with alcohol, clean it up the best that you can, and your body will naturally expel the head over a few days. Sometimes it happens, you can't get it out. It is just how it goes.
Yep. In many cases, you will tear off the head. It
Yeah.
really does happen. You will be shocked at how latchy those things are. I mean, it's unreal.
Yes. So a lot of people go ahead and follow up with their doctor. They will start taking antibiotics to prevent getting Lyme disease. We've never done that. You know, we've been bitten by ticks. Luckily, we've never gotten any kind of disease or gotten sick.
You know, when it comes to Lyme disease, sometimes there's the bullseye rash, sometimes there's not. Sometimes you'll get the flu symptoms immediately afterwards, sometimes you won't. Everybody is different.
That's right.
I mean, some people, if they find a tick, haven't even been bitten by the tick, they'll capture it and go to the doctor and have it tested and so on. It really is up to you.
Right.
You know, as Susan mentioned before, when it comes to the outdoors, there's always a risk involved. There's the risk of the tick. There's the risk of the mountain lion, the bear. I mean, there's a higher risk of some jerk who has bad intentions. I mean, that's life.
That's right. But to me, it doesn't outweigh the benefit of
No.
being outdoors. And if you know how to protect yourself, how to check yourself, you can still enjoy it and not have to worry about the ticks.
The best course of action is prevention. You know, use your repellent and check yourself often. It's so much easier to pick it off than it is to pull it out. Before we wrap this up, let's talk about the size of the tick. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if it's
No.
small or if it's big. That doesn't dictate anything. You can get Lyme disease from very, very small ticks or the large ones as well.
Yep. So the best thing to do is if you've been out hiking and camping and weeks, days later, whatever, you start coming down with odd symptoms, if you find that bullseye rash, anything like that, you definitely would want to seek medical attention. Some ticks are almost microscopic and you may not realize you have even been bitten by one. So pay attention to your body and to the symptoms and how you feel.
Chills, fevers, muscle aches, and of course the rash you need to pay attention to. Now, of course, that's just for Lyme disease. There are 20 other diseases that you have to worry about. They're less common, but they are out there.
They do happen.
Yep.
So
Ultimately, be diligent, pay attention, get outside, have a great time, but understand what is out there. I'm almost 40 years old. I've been around ticks. I've been picking them off me all my life. And luckily I could say that I don't have Lyme disease. I've been very diligent. The worst scenario that I've ever had was actually in California. I've been hiking around in the Redwood Forest. I was on Highway 1 heading down to Monterey. And I noticed, man, my shoulder kind of aches, you know? It felt like maybe I scratched it or something while in the woods. It just ached more and more and more. And finally I was like, hey, to my buddy, I was like, check this out. What's going on here? And it was a tick. Because I wasn't diligent, I didn't ask my buddy to take a look at it earlier, I sat there and I messed with it. And that forced it to burrow itself in. And it left a hole in my back, about the size of my pinky.
ew.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge hole.
So gross.
It is.
Ticks really are gross to me, but
Yeah, there's so many different types of mythos out there about how you can get a tick to back out. You can light a match and put it near its butt, and that'll cause it to back out. No, not really. In most cases, that won't work. Some people will tell you to cover it in Vaseline so it can't breathe. That doesn't really work either. Most of those methods do not cause it to back out. It causes it to go in.
Right.
You know, holding a match up to a tick's butt, when do you back up towards the heat? So, I mean, there's a lot of mythos out there. None of that stuff really does work.
Yeah, everyone has their own remedy, and a lot of them will actually just kill the tick and leave it stuck in your body. So you really don't want to do that.
Ultimately, the correct course of action is to pick it off, use your tweezers, or go to the doctor. Now we need to talk about gear and clothing after you're done with your adventure.
So if you don't find any ticks on you, that's great, but that doesn't mean you don't need to check your gear when you get home. So you have to check everything.
Anything that you've taken out of your pack and you've placed on the ground, it's a potential target.
So you want to wash all that stuff, check it, wash your clothes. Putting stuff in the dryer for about 10 minutes on high heat will actually kill ticks.
Anytime that I come home from an adventure, usually I start by putting all of my gear on the porch. I mean, all you have to do is carry your gear inside of the house, and then that tick can transfer to something else. So I start off on the porch, I give everything a good once over, and I continue on. So you really do have to be diligent. As soon as you get home from a hike, take your clothes off, go wash them, you know?
Yes, that's part of being diligent.
Yep.
So basically that's it. Please check your pets if you have pets. Dogs, cats, they can all have
Kids.
ticks. Check your kids too.
Yep.
That pretty much wraps it
That
up.
pretty much wraps it up. I mean, not to scare you all, but it is a big ordeal. You do not want Lyme disease.
No.
We have viewers who have Lyme disease. We talk with them all the time, and I feel for them a lot.
It is a horrible, horrible disease.
Yep.
Very debilitating. So it's worth it to be diligent, even if it's a lot of work in the moment.
Yep.
So hopefully these tips will help you guys out.
That's right. Check
Pretty much
yourselves, check others, do it often, use the repellent, and good luck. That's how it goes. Good luck.
But don't be scared. Go out there. Go, go, go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves. If you guys have any questions or if you have any tips that work for you, comment down below. We do appreciate it. Everybody, take care. Strength and honor. Bye.